Are we live? Oh, hang on, hang on. What does that do? What is that? Oh gosh, now I have feedback. Hang on, I can turn my volume down. Does that help? Awesome. Somebody tell me you can hear me. Good morning, everybody. There's an echo. There's more than one of me in the room. Oh my God. If you think that's disconcerting for you, right here. What is this? Oh, wait a second. Oh, look at that. Hang on. We're going to shut that off. Uh, wait. Did I do it? Can we hear me? Would somebody please tell me if I okay, cheers. Now then, let us begin again. Hello, everybody. I'm Abby Haggard. Welcome back to the show. We had a temporary moment of mental apparition, and now we're more or less fine. The theme for today's video is what if we were just 1 degree from happy? And of course, in this particular moment, the happy would be if this all figured itself out. But now I can't see. There's the chat. Happy Canada Day, Freddie. Can you tell me please if you can hear me? If you can hear me and you can see me, because I just had a technical moment that was almost but not quite beyond my control. So just tell me. Thank you. Canada is celebrating a decision that was made a long time ago to connect a lot of people across a lot of miles of a lot of very difficult terrain. And there have been all kinds of reasons not to keep that decision. You can hear me now. Yay. Thank you. Thank you. Um, Freddie and I are great friends over many years of his fascination and support of all things you can't do on television. And we have become very good friends on social media. And he is my go-to for all kinds of what on earth am I doing? Freddie is always there. I so appreciate you. So back to Canada. Most of our population lives in the very lower parts of the country because the upper parts of the country are really cold and fairly barren most of the time. And so, why would you go there? And so, as a result, we are spread thin. We are spread far apart. And for a lot of people in countries where the population is quite dense, it's surprising when they come to Canada to see miles and miles and miles and miles of absolutely nothing but nature. It's quite remarkable, and it astonishes and delights everybody who sees it. And the reason I wanted to mention that is that our theme today is this: what if we're just 1 degree from happy? What if all the stuff that makes us feel like we're walking around with our tie caught in our zipper was actually something we could shift out of full on front and center over there to deal with later? What if there was a way that you didn't have to sign up for stuff, you didn't have to practice stuff, you didn't have to set aside time to reorganize your whole life? What if there was a very simple way to opt in for happy? And therefore, by default, by definition, if you opt in for happy, you opt out of the alternative. It's not that you say no to this, it's that you say yes to this. If it was that simple, if we really could do it with one decision, one simple task, the question is, well, good morning, Amber. Nice to see you. I'm talking about happiness today, Amber. And what if we were just one decision, one shift from feeling happy? Would we do it? Would we make it? Would we take it? And because a lot of people, we get set in our ways, and we have these habits we don't even know we're doing, and we automatically choose less than happy because we've always chosen it, or we don't even realize we're choosing. It's just, it is what it is, says somebody who relentlessly avoids happy. And what if there were, what if there was, what if we could, what if we could do one thing and it absolutely guaranteed that we could shift and almost immediately feel happy? Would we do it? Yes, no? While you think about that, I want to say something to our friends and followers and viewers and conversators. You guys are amazing. I had a couple of technical difficulties this morning, but none of them had anything to do with the fact that people are watching. And more importantly, for all of us, people are commenting. And they're not only saying hey and good morning to each other and hello, how are you, which is brilliant, but what you're also doing is you're commenting on how these videos make you feel. You're telling me, you're giving me feedback. You're helping me figure out which direction, how to navigate. You know, big ships, when they come into harbor, the harbor master sends out a pilot, just 1 degree, Freddie, 1 degree. The harbor master sends out a pilot, and the pilot is the guy who knows what's going on under the water in the harbor. And that pilot officer navigates the big ship in. So the guy who is the actual captain has to sit back and let the guy who knows what he's doing here on the ground take over. Why? Because he knows the lay of the land that you can't see. He knows the hidden dangers. And every big ship owner is very happy that that service is provided. I doubt that it's provided for free. They're very happy because it minimizes the damage. It minimizes the delays. It minimizes the costly repairs. And so the reason I mentioned that little story, that little visual, is that I would really love it if you thought of me as your pilot officer. You've brought your ship, here you are, and I'm saying to you, allow me to bring your ship into port. Allow me to show you how it's done. Because the difference between what I do And what, yes, that's awesome. What I do, Amber, everybody, Freddie, what I do every day is look at what is and figure out which part of it works for me. Because at the end of the day, the hidden question, what does it do? Who does it serve? What is it for? What does it change? Why does it matter? The last one, though, is what's in it for me. Good morning, Mr. Paul. Good morning. You missed, yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but I had a fascinating technical glitch this morning. There were two of me. We could hear two of me. We could see two of me. And I clicked a button and the wrong one went away. Because when in doubt, don't let Abby touch things. Then Abby said, wonder what happens when I do that. And the right one came back. And I've had Freddie telling me I can't hear you. Now I can hear you. Okay. Paul, what would I do without you people? What would I do, really? Right? So what we're talking about today, Paul, the question today is, what if we are just 1 degree from happy? What if there's only one thing, one shift? It's not like, yeah, okay, first build the pyramids. It's not a trick thing. It's one shift. If there was just one shift, if that's all we had to do to reach happy, we're 1 degree away, would we make that move? Would we take that moment? Would we effect that shift? Because a lot of people would say, well, of course, well, maybe not on Thursdays, because on Thursdays, right, people would find all kinds of reasons to stay in their comfort zone. The comfort zone, no matter how small and discomfortable it gets, is familiar. And familiar feels safe. And I'll tell you what else familiar feels. Familiar feels like I'm not going to look like an idiot when I first try something new. So many people are worried about looking like an idiot. Fortunately for me, thank you, Mom. It's way too late for that. it's no, people paid me to look like an idiot. When I accepted the job, your mission, Miss Phelps, if you choose to accept it, I had no idea that this thing was going to go viral around the world and everybody was going to see me look like an idiot. I'd have thought about it twice, maybe asked for more money. And so the question is, do we actually want happy? And there's only one way to find out, and that's do a test shift and see if we like it. It's like Costco. Try a sample before you buy. So I promised when I did the description this morning what this was all about, that I was going to give you a couple of stories and then I was going to give you a couple of simple win techniques or tools. And the reason I do it, Paul and I were talking yesterday. We had a wonderful conversation, virtual conversation, and the mom costume. The mom costume has no choice about hanging back, Jeremy. If that costume comes one step closer, she's out the door. So when Paul and I were talking, I said, I'm working on a business concept. I'm working on a mentoring concept, how to live well, how to feel great concept that does two things that I'm going to say 99% of all the training, coaching, motivational, mentoring, manifesting, whatever programs fail to do. Most programs have the process backwards. Most programs, coaching, training, whatever you want to call them, don't understand which part of the process is cause and which part of the process is effect. Cause and effect. They either don't understand it or they deliberately don't understand it for any number of reasons that would not be helpful to the client. That's the first thing that's different. Over the course of my career, over the course of my survival tactics and the crazy life as a military kid and an only child and a survivor of parental suicide, I have discovered how it works. And when I got into show business, I started teaching people. When I got into business consulting, I started teaching business owners. When I got into publishing, I started teaching writers. I even got into a little bit of relationship coaching, and I taught them as well. And every single one of them said, "Oh my God, that makes so much sense." So I knew from all of the responses that I got from all the people over the years that I was doing something no one else was doing. And that was understanding the physics, the immutable laws of change, of growth, of happiness. I understand them because I had to navigate them. I was my own pilot officer. I had to bring my own ship into harbor. And there were a lot of times when I ran aground. Fortunately, I was able to get myself nudged free, thanks to the help of many, many people over the years. And now, as a result, I understand the process. And according to the people that I've coached over the years, it helps. It works. So that's a bonus. And the second thing is, these programs, the Mon costume hands back, they're like her superhero. Yeah. Superhero mom. Brilliant. Brilliant term. So the second way that I'm different from everybody is that I actually show you how. I don't say, just do it. I don't say, you need to this, you need to that, without telling you what you do. Which tool do I use? Which end of it do I hold? Where do I put it? Is it lefty loosey, righty tighty? Or is it a hammer? Or what? Is it a magic ball? I explain what the process is, where our internal tools live, how we go get them when we're not paying attention, when we're just on autopilot, and also how we can go and get them on purpose, on demand, when we need them. So this program that I came up with in the middle of the COVID pandemic is called Pivotry in Motion. And Pivotry is the word that I coined that defines the decision to shift. Because first you have to decide, and then your brain tells the part of your body that's essential, make it so, number one. And then the head, the hands, the heart, the feet, whatever, create the shift. But first it has to start here. First there has to be an understanding why it's needed, why it's a priority, and what it's going to change. And are we ready? That's what Pivotry is. Pivotry in motion, we're in motion all the time. Little molecules, us, life, we're never not in motion. So Pivotry in motion is basically shifting on the fly. And for those of you who have been around long enough or who live in the rural areas, when a vehicle comes standard, like a big truck or a farm tractor or an old car, you have to manually shift out of gears. And you can't just go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to reverse. You have to go through neutral so that the gear wheels disengage and come back. Sorry about that. I'm allergic to farm equipment. I don't know. So the 1 degree from happy is not the shift, is not the find a gear, is not that I'm not dressed to sit on a tractor. The 1 degree is the decision that I'm ready for happy. I'm ready for happy. And that's it. That's the shift. Breathe in, breathe out. I'm ready for happy. And if you want to be more precise, I am happy. That's the decision you make. I'm ready for happy. I am happy. And things unfold. In order to be sure that you really are ready for happy, that you really are happy, you need to give yourself a little test. And the test that I like to use is fun. And the test is this. You get a weapon of mass construction, and you get something to make marks on it. And you write down something that happened to you, doesn't matter when, something that you did or you saw or you tasted or you heard or you felt, something you purchased, a memory that you clearly have that was awesome. Anything. Walking down the street smelling fresh baked bread, realizing that tickets for a concert are on sale and you can afford them. Going in to try on something and discovering that you've lost just enough weight to get into a smaller size. Yes. Realizing that not only are you in the smaller size, it's on sale. You and your best friend are going someplace and your best friend is talking and steps into a puddle up to their knees. And being the great friend that you are, you laughed and laughed and laughed until you fell over and ended up in the puddle with them. Something like that. We all have at least one of those story memories. I want you, with your weapon of mass construction, to write down the word on the piece of paper or your arm or the wall. I want you to write down the word that will remind you of that story. Do it on a Post-it note. Whatever the word is. Puddle, concert, size 2, whatever it is. 120 pounds, 10 pounds down, whatever it is. Write it down along with the word story. And I want you to look at that. And I want you to relive the story. Just remember it. You're not going to tell it. You don't have to write it down. It's in there. Just remember the story. That's it. And then I'd like you to take your happiness pulse. Did you enjoy remembering the story? Did it do the thing it always does? Good. Stay here. Stay here. And now I want you to say again, I am happy. And you know what? Shazam. You are. You were 1 degree away. And I told you, showed you, explained to you how to navigate that degree. I gave you the tool. I gave you the hack. I told you what you need. I invited you and illustrated it for you. And then I said, give it a try. To make it sink in, make it last a little longer, say it in the morning. First thing when you wake up, I am happy. Instead of saying blah, blah, grumble, grumble, grump, grump, If you wrote it down the night before and you put the Post-it by the bed and you roll over, you turn off the alarm and it says, I am happy. You said, me too. You're happy? Me too. Post-it note says, I know, right? I am happy. Me too. I'm happy. Tell yourself the story. What's the code word? Cake. Perfect. Tell the story. Smell the baked bread. Remember the mud. Remember the friendship. First thing in the morning. Last thing at night. It's not a mantra. It's a reminder. We got a lot of things on our minds. We got a lot of stuff on our plates. We've got people asking and needing and things going on that are confusing and upsetting and expensive and whatnot. It's easy to forget. You know, when you make a grocery list and you go to the store and you say, I won't need to write that down, I'll remember. Yeah. And then you come home from the store and that's the thing you didn't get because it wasn't on the list. Yeah. So we need a list. I make lists all the time. All the time. It's not a contest. How much can I remember? It's how many trips to the store do I need to make, for heaven's sake? Manage my time. Make the list. On the list, don't forget the bread this time. See that on the list and I'll laugh. Because my goal, and Paul and I have had this conversation and we're going to continue to have this conversation. My goal is to work from a starting place of happy. My goal is to begin there and show all the other people how to begin there. I was on the phone this morning with somebody working on a really cool idea. And she said, you're always so happy. And I said, well, here's what she said. You're so generous with it. I said, I'm not generous at all. Here's the thing. When I walk into a space, I don't want to have to deal with toxic stuff. It drags me down, slows me down. So I sprinkle a little, are we happy? Everybody brightens up. And I think, there, that's better. And I keep on walking. I can make the space around me welcoming. I can teach you to do the same thing. The only thing that has to happen for that process to take place, Paul and I have been discussing, is you need to know it's available, and I need to know you want it. Paul is working on how we create that connection. Do you have to get on a bus, or do you have to walk? Do you have to get a kayak? Do you have to fly? No, we can do it this way. You can be in your pajamas. You can sit on the couch. You can hang from the ceiling fan if you like. Whatever floats your boat. The point is this. If you are in a place, I don't mean laughing and giggling and leaping and running around happy. I mean, awesome. Quietly in charge. Walking here. That's my definition of happy. I'm in it. I'm on it. I own it. And that is the underpinning. That is the foundation of this brilliant idea that Paul and I were discussing. And the root of it is, if you're happy, if you're happy, you can think more clearly. You can make smarter decisions. You can focus with greater intensity. You also have the energy to do the work. If you're unhappy, you're exhausted. you have a better outcome. Everyone involved around you has a better outcome when you're happy. It's contagious. I used to say, I remember the first time I said it was really funny. Everybody blinked, but they didn't disagree. I said, Viking DNA is airborne. Oops, too late. You're in the building with me. There you are, part of the tribe. So the conversation about happy. Today in Canada, it's our birthday. Later this week, Friday, it's America's birthday. And so this is a week when people are doing a couple of things. They're celebrating, I'm still here, they're celebrating a milestone. And they're also using the opportunity, a lot of you, and I think it's brilliant, to say it's a starting point. It's a restart point. It's a milestone. One of the reasons, I have a girlfriend who says, why do you keep celebrating birthdays? Gifts. And she said, but why do you keep? I said, because it's a milestone. I can look back on the last 365 days to see what I've done, to see how I've grown, to see how far I've come. It allows me to check my map coordinates to make sure I'm on the right path. And it's exciting to see how much has happened. I have to tell you, Paul, what you and I were talking about, the work, the advancements, the ideas, the generation of clarity and focus in the last 3 weeks alone is mind-blowing. Why? Because my collaborating creative partner and I have said, frankly, I don't have time for any more of this toxic crap. It's slowing me down. I'm not having any fun. And the only reason it's happening, and I'm allowed it to happen, is because I'm distracted. And how I'm distracted is by the noise out there. It's by the sound and the smell of the cheese doodles out there. And I stop looking at my plans, my map, my decisions, my routines, my direction, my boat, my test the wind steps. And I let go of those controls because now I'm distracted and I'm looking over there and I'm getting all upset about what, blah, 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 blah. Meantime, my boat is foundering. Am I achieving anything over there? No. Then what am I doing? I'm distracted. Good morning, Daniel. Good morning. And so what we have the opportunity to do, and again, I keep saying Paul, and I don't know if you expected me to do that, but what Paul and I were talking about is how much this reset is necessary and how few people realize how far they've drifted off course. And thank you, Paul, kindness. Paul said, I started watching the videos just to see what you were up to. And now I'm watching the videos. Well, thank you, Paul. Why? Did the bus not come? What's going on? He said, no, they're inspiring. I was in a funk. I think that was your term exactly, Paul. I was in a funk. And I started listening. I started paying attention to what you're saying, but more importantly, why you're saying it. And Paul said he found himself thinking, what the hell am I doing? I can do this. And it was a beautiful thing to receive those words and those very, very kind, because it means something to know that I'm on the right path. I don't need the applause. but it's nice to have the applause. Do I need to know how many people are watching? Yes, I'd love to see all of you. I'd love to see the name scroll up. No idea how that technology works. I was barely able to get my face and my voice on camera this morning. And by the way, this is episode 371. It's not like I'm a newbie here, right? So, what if we're just 1 degree from happy? What if there is one simple thing we can do to bridge that 1 degree gap? You look on a compass, there's 1 degree. So all we have to do is 1 degree. The fact that 1 degree on a compass equals something like 60 nautical miles, okay. But at 60 nautical miles, you can see the destination. It's right there. The only decision is, am I ready? And how that decision looks is this. Am I okay with not good enough? Am I okay with it's not that bad? Am I okay with, well, the whole loaf of bread isn't green? Or is there a part of me that says, I worked pretty hard yesterday. I'm going to change my clothes. I want to look in the mirror and say, yeah, I like that shirt. I've always liked that shirt. A treat that we give to a pet as a training tool. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog. Works. Incentive, reward. Works. Why don't we use it on ourselves? Simple treat. What is the treat? Happy. How do we do it? 1 move, 1 shift. Give yourself permission to say, I am happy. Get your weapon of mass construction and write down a trigger word that will remind you of a funny story, a story that happened to you, a story that doesn't have to be funny, a story that made you smile. And as I said, fresh bed. Oh, shoes off at the end of the day. Oh, right? That's the story. It doesn't have to be the greatest story ever told. The time you crossed the street, you thought it was just a little wet. You put your foot in it. You're up to your knee in a puddle. You weren't happy. However, you enriched the lives of everybody around you who saw you do it. So if we do that, if you say, you all down in the US of A, if you say, I'm gonna take Abby's challenge. Today's the 1st of July. Happy Canada Day, Abby. Today's the 1st of July, and I'm gonna try it. And I'm gonna try it just the way she said. Starting tomorrow, 2, 3, 4. 3 days. Say it in the morning, I'm happy. Look at the Post-it note. Remember the story. Think about the story. Allow it to make you smile. When you're going to bed, look at the Post-it note, say, I am happy. Do the story. 2nd, 3rd, 4th. When you do it on the morning of USA Day, July 4th, you wake up, it's the 4th of July, and you say, I am happy, and you remember the story. You have given yourself a treat. You have given yourself a good, great, fabulous gift on America's birthday. And then you're going to message me and you're going to say, son of a gun, It worked. I wonder what else she knows. And the answer is a bunch. So Paul and I are talking, and I don't think we want to wait too long. Paul, you're going to tell me how soon we are going to sit down and do a strategy, because I think people are ready for this. I think it's not that they need to take a lot of time. They may not have a lot of time. It's not that they need to invest a lot of resources. They may not have a lot of resources. But they need something that changes the landscape they're in. And 1 degree from happy, how easy is it? Well, first you had to know that there is a solution. You had to know how it works. And you had to be given the actual tool, instructions, to make it something you can try. And if you like it, make it your routine. That's the difference between what I do and what most of these programs do. I'm in it to make the ripple effects on the surface of the pond I'm in happy ones, productive ones, connected ones. That's why I'm here. That's what I want. And for everybody who decides to get in the pond with me, you get to enjoy the happy collateral damage, the happy collateral benefits, assets, forget damage. So that's my message today. It's our birthday here, and a lot of people are going to the celebrations and the events hoping, which is future tense, hoping the events will make them feel happier, better, connected. You know what's wrong with that? It's the other way around. This is a clear example of how the motivational coaches and the training messages and models get it wrong. We don't go to get happy. We bring the happy to the table. We are the happy. It's inside us that story lives. It's inside us that memory lives. And you know my later folder concept, right? My later folder concept is anywhere you're going, before you shift your gears, take out your later folder and write down anything that might have been stressing you. Anything, slow driver, sock is falling down inside my shoe, whatever it is, and draw a line under it. It's, lined pages, right? And by the way, I don't have room for it. Yeah, you do. It's the same size as your phone. Shut up. Write it down. The thing that was stressing you, write it down, draw a line under it. Close the book. It's in the later folder. You don't have to worry that you're going to forget it. You don't have to worry that this thing you like to kvetch about is going to go away. You wrote it down. It's safe. Put it back in your pocket or your purse or whatever. Now, everything's clean page, clean slate. I am happy. Remember that moment. All right. Shall we dance? That's it. We don't go to happy hour because happy lives at the pub. We go to happy hour bringing the happy with us. It's an invitation announcement. It's welcoming happy. Happy hour. It's an hour just for you. Happy says, oh boy. You think about it that way. The way that cause effect is a reverse, the way you say, oh, that's Pivotry in motion. Cool, huh? That is how it works. That is how our brain has always done it. That is how our brain always does it. We just didn't know. Now we are aware. Now I'm providing you with examples, an understanding of why, and instructions on how to execute. And I'm drilling it down and keeping it simple. Why? Because in spite of what all these training programs say, it really is simple. It's all the stories that were told, all the instructions, all the complaining, all the confusion, all the distractions that convince us that it's complicated. What is complicated is trying to hang on to all the too many things. Trying to see what's going on all over there and manage this here. You can't be in two places at the same time. You can't be here and there. And by the way, you don't live there. You live here. Yes? Yes? Everybody nodding your heads? Oh, I know, but all that, yeah, got it. Not ours to own. Yes, but I care about, good for you. First care here, first care here. First happy here. First productive here. First energized here. And then, is there anything that I might be able to do? Truthfully? No. Fine. Then come back and enrich the waters of the pond around you. Allow your happy to be contagious. Because among us all in the pond, there will be somebody who is on their way there. There will be somebody whose training it is to deal with that. And if we send them there in an upbeat, positive, energized state, how much more productive are they going to be? Exactly. So did we contribute to the outcome? Yes. You know why they have cheerleaders at sporting events? To wind up the crowd, to get them to cheer. Cheerleaders lead the cheers. The players on the field hear the cheers. That means everybody cares, and I'm not alone out here about to get hurt. And now we're all happier. I am not telling you you have to be a cheerleader. I am not telling you have to figure out what to do with those pom-poms. And for heaven's sake, don't fall and hurt yourself in those complicated maneuvers. I'm not telling you have to do any of that. I'm telling you you have to be ready to be happy. You have to be ready. You can't hedge your bets. You can't be half in and half out. You know what happens to somebody who has one foot in a boat and the other on the dock? Nothing good in 3, 2, 1. Choose happy. Try it. I choose happy. I am happy. What's the story? What's my trigger? Oh my God. Oh my God, I'll never live that down. And Shazam, I am happy. Go about your day. I'd love you to try it. I'd love you to let me know how that works. And Paul, let me know when we're talking. I'm very keen. So Today being Tuesday, we have 2 days and then it's Thursday. And I have something else really awesome to talk to you about. So I hope you'll join me. And I hope you'll tell your friends that this is actually a pretty cool thing to do. Costs nothing. You don't gain weight, no cavities. Give it a try. And to all of you on the different platforms who have chosen to say, I wonder what this is about. Thank you so much. We're growing this. I'm getting these little notes from the different platforms. Your activity is getting noticed. Yes. Because this isn't a popularity contest. This is a platform that is allowing me to stand a little taller so that I can be seen and heard by the people who need and are ready to hear what I'm saying. And Paul is about to be a big part of that. Big, huge, as Pretty Woman would say. Family ties fan. So what I love about these opportunities is that this is free form. You know, I haven't scripted it. Clearly, I haven't scripted it. What kind of script is this? What I have done is I've written an idea and I've thought of a story and I've chosen a couple of tools that I use that really work well and quickly and efficiently. And that's what happens twice a week. You are therefore getting a taste of this whole Pivotry in Motion project. You're getting free samples so that you can decide that you're ready when we launch. And speaking of launch, for those of you who are in the Ottawa, Canada area, on the 20th of July, I am going to one of these FanCon events. This one is a one-day event. It's called FanaticCon. And I've posted an event on Facebook, and I'm going to be talking about it ad nauseum as we get close. I've decided, so this year is my 20th anniversary as a publisher. Who knew? And I've decided that since these live events, these con events are so much about nostalgia entertainment, and I have this little Facebook group called We Are the Unforgettables. I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a book shoot, a live shoot for a collectibles book all day long at my booth. And we're going to have all the stuff we normally have, the feather boas and the banners and the whatnot, all the good stuff, all the fun stuff. And everybody is going to sit for a picture. They're going to tell me their definition of unforgettable. What's unforgettable? They're going to tell me, we're going to write it down. It's going to be their picture, their quote, and their name. And I'm going to have a celebrity on each page, and I'm going to have a cosplayer on each page, and a fan on each page, and an artist, and a vendor, and a gamer, and the volunteers who make the event happen. 5 shots on a page. And we're going to do the launch, which was the hook, the launch in November, and cake, icing, cherry. This one I'm dedicating to a really lovely man, Ryan Lithell, an Ottawa guy who overcame tremendous disabilities to live a life worth living. And he loved nostalgia, and he loved all these events, and he wrote beautifully and passionately about advocacy for disability and access. And everybody loved him. And he lived a life that far exceeded any medical expectation. And we lost him this January. So I'm dedicating this book, this first Unforgettables collectible, to Ryan. So the deal is, if you're in the area, you come to FanaticCon, Sunday the 20th of July, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I think the entrance is, I think the VIP is $25. The regular admission is $20. I think kids get in for whatever. And all I'm asking people to do is when they come to the booth and they register, we're going to do the picture, I'm just asking them to pre-order their copy of the book And when I do a pre-order, I can give everybody my author rates, which are far cheaper than when you buy it on Amazon. That's all. And so we're going to do it all day. I have 5 photographers, and I've got people signing everybody up, and I've got people having a great time, and people saying, hey, come on, let me show you where the booth is. It's going to be a riot. I've got 80s music playing. It's a party. It's happy hour times 6. And I want you there. I want you to bring your happy, and we'll all put it in this big container, mix it all up. And that's what the day is going to be like. You can go and do all the other stuff. You can get on the cosplay contest. You can shop around and buy stuff. You can get people to do your character. Whatever it is you love to do at these fan events. But I want you spending 10 minutes with me so that I can make this book happen. So that is part of my agenda as well. This is 1 degree from happy. All you have to do is show up. And there it is. How cool is that, right? Okay, I'm going to let you go. What time is that? Oh, almost 11. I'm going to let you go. Thank you. Thank you for being part of this. Thank you for making this work, right? Without you, it's a rehearsal. The drill is to be good to you. You deserve it. Remember to hug your loved ones because they deserve it too. Fair enough? Awesome. And I will catch you next time.